Hi, girls. Faifa, I was just watching your Camping with the President recording. I loved it. I showed it to Mr. Peter. So cute. Also, girls, on your writing assignment, make sure you turn in the writing, not just the assignment over again. Make sure you put your writing too. Gessie, were you singing or what were you saying?
Nothing.
It sounded like you were singing.
I forgot to mute.
Were you singing a song? That's cute.
Social studies.
Social studies. Let me tell these girls that we're getting started. There's one. There's Ingfa.
Mrs. Jenna.
Yes.
For extra points, I don't know which one can I get to it, so you can random.
The points for the spelling thing. If you tell me to just put it on something, I'll just put it on your lowest score. Oh, the 1 pound fish song. Gessie, why don't you sing it for all of us out loud? Okay. I'm just kidding.
Jenna.
Yeah.
I think one time I remember I got something or something. I don't know what it was. I think it was spelling. And then you said that we can add a point to an assignment, but I think I didn't tell you yet. Can you check if I actually got it or didn't tell you yet?
If you didn't tell me anything, then I didn't do it. If you didn't say, put it on this assignment, then I didn't put it on anything because I wait for you guys to tell me. But if you want to tell me something now, I'll write it down and take a note.
Okay.
You guys just always have to remember to go back to that and send me something.
Mrs. Jenna, what is the lowest score for the quizzes and
you want me to just add to your lowest score like I'm doing IB?
For quiz and test.
Okay.
The lowest one.
Got it. Pray, are you asking a question? Is that Pray?
Mrs. Jenna.
Oh, that was you, Amy? You sounded like Pray. You have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
Not a question, but something I want to talk to, but not probably. Every time when I get extra point, something like that, you can random it because I don't like to go check again.
No problem. I'll put it on something random. Your lowest quiz or test score is what I'll do for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. If you guys tell me that, I can do that. Okay, girls, cameras on. I need to see everyone's eyes looking at me now. Eyes on me. Let me see your eyes looking at me. Oh, I see some intense eyes. Very good. Jihu, where's those eyeballs? Show them to me, girl. Let me see your eyes. Show me your eyes. Okay, very good. Okay, I can see her now. She went away again. Oh, there she is. Okay. So, ladies and more ladies, we are going to be learning about history today. This whole last part of social studies from week 1 to week 4, we've been learning about regions and geography, culture, yes, things like that of the such, and around the world in general. But now we're gonna get started talking about history and how history shapes us, how history affects our lives. And so we're gonna learn first in this chapter 2, lesson 1 and 2, how to study history, how to think about history, what to think about history before we learn about the history of certain cultures. So in a few weeks, we'll start learning about Egypt, ancient Egypt, the pyramids, the pharaohs, all that fun stuff. But before we get there, we have to know what kind of questions to ask, what kind of things to think about while we're learning the history, what to look for. And that's what we're going to be learning about right now before we get there. So, does anybody know what the word history means? Anybody want to give it a shot from the hip? Amy?
The proof.
Say it again.
Proof.
Proof. Okay, I like that word. Ella, you want to add to it?
Like what happened before? Like past?
Good. Yes. So let me write all this down. We have proof. What happened in the past / before. Play-Fi, you want to add to that?
It's the things that happen in the past, and people in the future of that come to like study about it and find it.
People in the future study about what happened in the past. Good point. And Pray, do you want to add to that as well? These are all really good.
Like what in the past they do.
What they did in the past. Okay, very good job. You have more, Ella? Sorry.
Like something that makes studying about the earth easier.
Ooh, it might be something that makes studying about the earth easier. We're going to talk about that point in just a moment. Gessie, would you like to add?
This is like the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so does the people in Egypt know God, like the Christian God?
That's a really good
Or
question.
they born before they know what is Christian?
That's a super good question, Gessie. And I'll answer a teeny tiny bit right now. And then as you know how we're kind of going from the beginning of the Bible and we're just going through all of it. We're gonna get to Egypt at some point in the Bible. And you guys are gonna get to see a lot about that, and you'll see what God's plan was and how he used Egypt. But just for a quick history answer for that, no, they did not worship the God that the Christians worship or that the Israelites worshipped. They have many, 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 many gods. And we'll learn about, and goddesses, like woman gods. And we will learn about 3 or 4 of them specifically when we study about Egypt. So that's a good question. And we'll learn what it's called, the term we use, the vocabulary word for having many gods other than just one God. So I'll answer that little bit now, and then you'll get to see the story of that in the Bible soon. Does that answer your question, Gessie? Do you have another question? Okay.
Does people in Egypt live like they born long like they born before Christ born yet?
So yeah, Egypt was a civilization, a nation before Jesus Christ was born. That's a good question too. So Egypt had a people group and like a government, the Pharaoh, etc. Long, long, long before Jesus came to earth. That's a good question. We'll look at that too. Okay, so let's move on. So that's history, right? I want you guys to look in the Zoom chat and I want you to tell me, what word do you see in the word history? Yes, that's right, Gessie.
His story.
Story, right? Bibi?
I was about to say the same thing.
Yes, very good. Thank you. So we see the word story, and everything that these girls just told me about what history is exactly true. It's proof. That's a good point. This is a true story. History has to be true. If it's not true, it's not history. It's just a made up story. But it has to be true in order to be counted history. For example, everything that we've done today before 129, before 130, that's history. It's in the past. I ate pakar pao guy for lunch. That's history. That's a part of my life's history now. I was born this year on this day in this country with these parents. It's a part of my history. It's a part of my story, the story of my past. Okay, exactly what you guys have been saying. So really quick, let's look at this in our book, these pages, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. So exactly what you guys are saying, it's a look into the past or the story of the past. You guys use that word a lot when you were telling me what history is. It's about the past, it's from before. And it kind of mixes geography and culture. What we learned the past 4 weeks, right? The equator, the regions, all of that is a part of the geography, and the culture is a part of the geography, and the history is encompassed in that. Everything that happens in those regions, in those cultures, in those parts of the world is a part of their history. Even as we're talking about Egypt now, it has a very strong history. When we think about it, we think about the pyramids, the pharaohs, right? That's all their history. They don't necessarily use those things anymore, but it is a part of their history, their story from the past. So we can look at all these pictures that they have over here. We'll look at these. All of these things were created and built, or the way people live, their culture, from a long time ago. And the people who study history, we'll talk about what they're called in just a moment, they study these things. They go to these places, this region of the world. They look at the things that were created. They study the people there, and they find sources, maybe books or letters that were written or newspapers, to help them understand what was going on at that time in history. And all of this helps them. And you can see how geography plays a part in this as well, right? We think about where in the world this is, we might picture Egypt in our head, or that region of the world. And different history happened there than happened in Thailand, right? Maybe on the same day, something different, a different history was happening. So I want somebody to read this paragraph for me really quick. I see Amy raising her hand. Go for it, girl.
How has your life changed from the way it was 5 years ago? You're probably playing different games and have long outgrown your old clothes. Your family may have moved into a new house. Your life will continue to change as you grow older. Look around carefully. 10 years from now, everything around you, every object you see, every song you enjoy listening to, will help tell the story of what your life was like today.
Very good. Thank you, Amy. So I hope that while you guys were reading this along with her, you were thinking in your head as well, what are some of the games that you used to play you don't play now? Or the clothes that you wore when you were little that you don't have anymore? Or the house that you used to live in with your family that you've moved out of, maybe the school you went to before that you don't go to now. This song that you loved last year, that now is old news, right? You don't like it anymore. You've moved on to a whole new band. Maybe your favorite pen or something that you used to use that you don't use anymore, ran out of ink, you had to get a new one. That's all a part of your history. There's the things in your life that happened in the past, okay? So we don't use that stuff anymore. We have something new. but it's still a part of what made you who you are today. So I want you guys to think really quick. If we're trying to understand history, what is the point of understanding history? Why do we have to study what they did in the past? Why is it important? Why do we need to understand that? Amy, what do you think?
Because we can live more comfortable and in the right way of the past.
We can learn more, and say that last part again.
We can live in the right way, like in the past, like some laws, something like.
Yes, you got it. That's awesome. So that's exactly why we study history. Ella, you want to add to that?
We study history so we can see how the world has changed.
Very good. Exactly, girls. We want to see how the world has changed because we want to do the right thing in the future. Raise your hands in here. Is anybody, oh wait, I can't see you. Stop share. Is anybody like a younger sibling? Anybody have older brothers and sisters? Raise your hand if you have older. Okay. Has anybody ever, you guys who are raising your hands, have you ever watched your older brother or sister get in trouble for something before? Raise your hand. Yeah. And did you learn from that? Oh, when they did that, mom and dad got mad. So I'm going to do something different, right? I'm not going to do that. For Mrs. Jenna, I have an older sister and she's very different from me. I know you guys think I'm crazy, but my sister is like level 10 crazy. And when we were growing up, she would just get so upset and throw a drama queen fit about everything. She's almost 10 years older than me. And I learned, my mom would get mad. Ricky, calm down. I learned from that to keep calm, stay quiet, let it come and let it go, let things go. And I did not get in trouble growing up. I was never punished. My parents hardly ever got mad at me, and I kind of was just there, always doing the right thing because I watched what happened to her and I learned from it. Same thing with history. We learn what happened to people a long time ago, the problems that happened, what went wrong, and we learn to do something different. We don't want to do the same thing. We want to do something better. So we learn how things changed for them and we try to do something better. We learn from it. If we don't learn the history, we don't know how to be better. Let me ask you guys, don't just try to come up with maybe this, maybe that, but does anybody know the real reason why World War II started? We all know what World War II is, but who knows why it began? Does anybody know? Ingfa?
Yes.
Can you tell us?
Tell what again?
Do you know why World War II started?
Because other countries want the space so their country can get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Not World War II. Okay, so that's a lot of our thoughts though. And even in my other class, Klaifa, I see you're like,
Because Hitler hated Jewish.
bam, got it. So there was a purpose, right? There was this man, that's right, his name was Hitler, causing all these problems. And we can go into all the details later. And it actually ended up causing a whole war between the entire world, right? So we can go back to that. She talked about how they hated the Jews, right? We learned from that. You cannot hate other cultures just because of who they are. It could start whole wars. We have to learn how to all live together and love all the cultures. We have to learn lessons from history. We can learn from that war. We cannot make that mistake again, right? And if it starts to look like that, we have to push that down. Like, hey, World War II started from something like this, everybody. Stop hating. Stop saying this culture's right and this one's wrong. So we learn from history, okay? Very good job, you guys. So let's look at this really quick before we run out of time. I already asked you guys this question. What is history, right? The story of the past. Very good. So I want you guys to think, you might have seen it in our book. What do we call the people who study history? And no, it's not a historist, like a naturalist. It's something different. What do we call the people who study history? What do you guys think?
Historian?
Very good. Historians. So when you hear me say the word historians from here on out, know that I'm talking about the people who study history. They give us the textbooks we've got, okay? So historians, they study the daily life of people, the way they live, right? The culture, the language, the food, the music, their habits, the things they do. And they study how events change the world. And I gave this example in my other class. Before, does anybody know about the 9/11 in America when the Twin Towers were blown up in 2001? You were not alive yet. I was in grade 1. Okay, guess you know. Yeah, you guys might have heard this in history before. So this event changed our lives. Jihu, let me see your face here. It changed many things and lives all over the world. So before this happened, because it was on airplanes and they flew into the towers and the towers were destroyed. Before this happened, security at airports was not very strict. You just walk in, you go get on your plane. That's it. Now, what do we have to do? We have to get to the airport, like 2 hours early, go through all the little things where they buzz our stuff. We have to stand like this and they check our bodies for like guns and stuff. They open our bags. We have to buy special toothpaste tubes that aren't too big because of that event. Because they want to make sure nobody's bringing anything dangerous onto the plane. So that one event has changed our lives all over the world forever and ever, right? It will never be the same. So I want you guys to think, can you think of any other events in your life that it was one way before and now it's completely different? Your life has changed because of a certain event in history. I know one we're all living in right now. Why do I have to wear this everywhere I go? Bibi?
The virus.
Okay, COVID-19, right? It changed our world forever. We have to wear masks everywhere we go. We didn't have to do that before. I don't know if you guys remember, but a long time ago, I didn't have to wear a mask when I left my house. Now I do. Guessing? Say it again.
Can I spell it? And
Yeah. Anybody else while she's typing? Oh, yeah. There was a, tsunami in Phuket, right? Oh, I spelled that wrong. I'm sure they have like measures set up at the beach, not the beach, the beach to watch for big waves. Very good. Everything is very different there now. So now I want us to think about something that historians will find in certain regions and they'll study it. And these are called artifacts. And I've noticed in the past in my classes, when they think about the word artifacts, they're like fossils and dinosaur bones and all these things. But those are in fact not artifacts. The thing about artifacts is that they have to be created by a person, number one, and it needs to be a tool or an object, something that we use to help us. For example, my phone is a tool. It's something I use for GPS. I use it to call people. It's useful to me. It has a purpose. Dinosaur bones are just come from the dinosaur, right? They're not a tool. I don't use them for things. And artifacts take this a step further. A phone from 1970. That would be an artifact because it's a tool that we don't use anymore. It's a tool from the past, from before. So remember that when you're thinking about artifacts, something we don't use anymore, but they used a long time ago. So can you guys think of any examples of artifacts, tools in the past that people use that we don't use anymore? Yes, Amy?
I think the dinosaur bones are something artifacts too because they are something like we decorate phones.
Wait, say what are you talking about? Cell phones?
And dinosaurs bones.
The what? I'm sorry, I can't understand. Can you type it to me? Okay. Anybody have any examples of artifacts while she's typing? Can you guys think of anything? Guessy.
The where we put the music and we use the pencil and roll it up.
Okay.
Like
Yes. Very good. So we'll say CD players and record players, right? For music. We don't use those anymore. We have Spotify and YouTube. So those are artifacts now. Very good. Can you guys think of anything else? What are some things they used a long time ago that we don't use anymore? Because we have better stuff.
they use a horse.
Okay, so a horse is an animal, but we're gonna say this. They use wagons and horses, right? To go places. What do we use now to go places?
Car.
A car. Yeah, we don't use
Or a
wagons
plane.
anymore, or a plane. Very good. Someone in the other class said that too. I'll show you guys their answers. Wagons, ships. For travel, we use cruise ships now, but they were like, but to go places, they would use ships. We don't really use them that much anymore. Swords, right? What do we fight with now in wars? They use guns, right? We use swords anymore. Very good. So let me show you guys what you're going to do now in your breakout rooms with your groups. But really quick, here's that music, one of the music things that Gessie was talking about. But that one's really old, right? This is a very old record player. Oh, I don't know if you guys know how to work that now. You're used to your Spotify, right? Say it again.
Just go. It has something like that.
Yeah. So really quick, let's look at this picture. Do you guys see any artifacts? What artifacts do you see? Tools that we don't use anymore. Say the what?
Polaroid.
This one? That's a big camera, right? What do you guys do now? This is an artifact.
We use phone.
We use our phone. Yeah, we don't even have cameras. Everything is on the phone. You don't even have to have a GPS. It's on your phone. What about this? I don't know about you guys, but my umbrellas, can get really tiny and I can put it in my bag very easily. But they had these really big fancy umbrellas back then, right?
The professor had, no, the professor hat.
We don't really wear hats like that. I mean, sometimes we do if we go to the beach. But they are much more old, right? We don't really wear those. Very good. And here's some more records. My last class called them CDs, but those are not CDs, those are records. Ingfa,
The notebook, the diary book, because now we write the diary in our phone.
oh, that's right. You guys probably use your devices and phones for everything, right? I still have a journal that I write my prayers to God in. Just because you know me, I like to use pen and paper. I make you guys use pen and paper. So yeah, very good. Thank you, Ingfa. So this is kind of related to what you guys are going to be doing today on Seesaw, but with your groups. Oops, sorry, blind by that your thing open. Let me show this to you guys. Except for this activity, rather than thinking about tools from the past or artifacts, I want you guys to think about tools that we use now. Wait, where is it? There it is. So I'm gonna put you in breakout rooms to talk about it with your group. On this side, I want you to think about the tools or the objects and things that you would use in a classroom and write it down here. I'm going to give us an example and we cannot use the example I give you. So don't do what I say. You have to think of other things. For example,
and give the example because you're gonna give. I think you're gonna give like an easy one that we all are about to do.
I am exactly.
Do it.
I'm going to exactly do that, Ella. So a pencil, for example, right? We would write the word pencil here. Everyone's like, no, I was gonna write pencil, right? So if I write the word pencil, then I have to say, what do I use the pencil for? I use it to write. And this activity may seem kind of silly and crazy, but just imagine 50 years from now, if someone saw this and they don't use pencils at all anymore, they're absolutely obsolete. Somebody would be like, what? You had to like hold that thing and write with it, like use your hand muscles and everything, because we just like speak now and it shows up on our device. We don't even have to write anymore, right? So this would be crazy to someone in the future. So that's why we're creating this. So think about the tools that you use in your classroom and write it here, and then tell me what they're used for on the other side, okay? But I'm gonna put you guys in breakout rooms to do this activity. Yeah.
But I was gonna write pencil.
Oh girl, I know. We was all about to write pencil. I know we were. So I took it from you to make you think more. So you can open this seesaw activity to get started with your group. You guys can share screen. You can just talk about it. It shouldn't take too long. You only have to come up with 3. And I'm going to put you in breakout rooms so you can share ideas and brainstorm with one another. All right, you may go, girls.
Hello, is anyone here?
Girls, unmute your little mics.
Okay.
Thank you, Bibi. All right, Mikiko, can you click on the seesaw activity, please? Mikiko, while you guys are working, I want you to share your screen with the girls. Wait, really quick, Phoebe, are you, that's Plyfa. Plyfa, I'm gonna let Makiko share her screen with you guys, okay? Makiko, can you share your screen and the girls, you're all gonna talk about what to put on it together?
I'm supposed to one day.
Makiko, can you hear me? Okay, can you share your screen, please, on the seesaw activity?
It say when I try to click add response, right?
Yes, click add response and find your name. Wait, Kelsey, Makiko's gonna share, okay? But thank you for offering. So add response and then find your name, Makiko, and then you can, yes, very good job, Makiko. All right, let's see. Click OK really quick. So click add response.
I click add response.
Interesting. Just click OK. Just click OK. Don't click anything else. Why does it keep doing that, I wonder? Makiko, okay, wait, add response now. That's weird. Okay, that's good. I'm happy you shared your screen so I can see what's happening on your seesaw, okay, Makiko? Makiko, you can stop sharing your screen, please. Okay, and Plyfa or Kelsey, you can share your screen and y'all can talk about it. Plyfa's like, I'm on it. And then you guys can do the activity. Makiko, I want you to write your answers in the Zoom chat, okay? Can you do that for me? So, Makiko, what is something that you use in the classroom? If you were in school, in class, what is something you would use? But not a pencil. Think about anything but a pencil. Makiko may trick Miss Jenna sometimes, but Miss Jenna's being tricky today. Yes, very good, Makiko, a paper notebook. And what do we use a paper notebook for? What do we do with a paper notebook? We write in it. Very good, Makiko. Okay, Makiko, I need you to think of 2 more things.
Mrs. Jenna,
Yes.
that's my
She's typing it to me in the Zoom chat. Sorry, Plyva. Yours looked really good too.
Yeah.
So, Makiko, keep typing to me 2 more things you use in the class and what do you use them for? I'll be back, okay? Good job. Okay, a pen. And what do we use a pen for?
What's up?
Looks like you guys are working it out. Ooh, a light bulb, creative. Everything okay, girls?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
We just shared ideas just now.
perfect.
Oh.
Everybody's on their seesaw activity?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you for opening your screen, Sally. It's better when you guys have it unmuted and you can just talk freely, okay?
Okay, I'm done and I send it to you.
Good. You may go, Inkra.
Write newspaper.
Do what, dear?
Newspaper.
There could be a newspaper